Nothing beats the flavor of fresh from the garden tomatoes. Make this your biggest and tastiest harvest yet with proper planting and care. Grow tomatoes in a sunny spot that receives at least 8 hours of sun for the biggest harvest and fewer pest problems. Improve your garden soil by adding several inches of organic matter to the top 8 to 12 inches of soil prior to planting. Compost, aged manure, and other organic materials help improve drainage in heavy clay soil and increase the water-holding ability of sandy soil. This is also a good time to incorporate a slow-release organic nitrogen fertilizer like Milorganite. Just be sure to follow label directions. Slow-release fertilizers provide a constant diet that's better for your plants and less work for you. No mixing and weekly fertilizing needed. Wait for the soil and air to warm to plant tomatoes. Planting too early when the soil's cool and the nights are chilly can stress the plants and delay your harvest. Plant your non-grafted tomatoes slightly deeper or in a trench for better rooting. Trench tomatoes by digging a shallow trench about 3 to 4 inches deep. Remove the lower leaves and lay the plant on its side in the trench. Roots will eventually form along the stem. Carefully bend the stem so the upper leaves will be above the soil. Fill the trench with soil and water. Stake or tower your tomatoes to reduce insect and disease problems and make harvesting easier. Determinate tomatoes, look for the D on the tag, grow a certain height and stop. They work well in towers, containers, or even hanging baskets. Indeterminate tomatoes, labeled with an I, keep growing taller, producing more flowers and fruit until the end of the growing season. These do best when grown on tall, sturdy stakes or extra tall, strong towers. Towering tomatoes is easy. Simply place the tower over the tomatoes at planting. Move any wayward branches back into the tower as needed. Tomatoes grown in towers produce a larger but later harvest than stake tomato plants. You'll need to dedicate a bit more time if you decide to stake your plants. Place the stake in the ground at planting. Be careful not to injure the roots. As the plants begin to grow, prune off all side branches, often called suckers, that develop between the main stem and leaves. Loosely tie the remaining 1 or 2 stems to the stake. Cloth strips, twine, or other soft ties work well. Keep tying up the plants as they continue to grow. Stake tomatoes produce the earliest and smallest harvest. Check new plantings every few days and water often enough to keep the developing root system moist. Reduce frequency as the plants become established. Water established plants thoroughly whenever the top few inches of soil are crumbly and slightly moist. Mulch the soil with evergreen needles, shredded leaves, or other organic mulch to keep the soil consistently moist and suppress weeds. Consistent soil moisture encourages more flowering and fruiting while reducing the risk of blossom end rot, cracking, and misshapen fruit. Add Milorganite, if needed, when your tomatoes are about the size of golf balls. This organic nitrogen fertilizer won't burn the plants even in hot, dry weather. You can also grow tomatoes in a pot. Select a large container with drainage holes. Fill with a well-drained planting mix. Add a slow-release fertilizer like Milorganite, and you'll reduce your maintenance. That way, every time you water, you'll be fertilizing. Harvest your tomatoes when fully colored. Leave them on the plant an extra 5 or 6 days for even better flavor. Unfortunately, the animals often move in and feast on ripening fruit. In this case, you may need to finish ripening your tomatoes indoors. And once you taste that first red ripe tomato, you'll be looking for more sunny spots to grow tomatoes.